everyone, and welcome back to Packs and Recreation. And today we are using Arc V or Arc 5 Yu-Gi-Oh to go and open old school. So, Legendary Collection 25th Anniversary Edition again. And why? Because this is how you do an anniversary properly. So these boxes were very cheap. I don't think they are as cheap anymore because, well, you know, people bought them. So they became more expensive because of that. But instead of doing an anniversary product that is very expensive and is full of proxies that you can't use for play, you just, you know, go and contact your people, because it gets Treasures of the Pharaoh return for the 25th anniversary, and you get one booster pack from each of the first 6 legendary expansions, and then all the gods, because whatever, you can play with them, so F it, it's just cardboard, and then the 3 most famous monsters, and then one of those 6 cards as a 7th card in the new quarter of the century secret rare technology, and everything in this nice little box. So as you can see, it's 8 more box than anything else. So Obelisk the Tormentor in blue. The cards are already banned because why not? And nothing there besides the 6 legendary boosters from the 25th anniversary. This is how you do it. You just do reprints and you sell it for like 15 bucks or something, or 20 bucks. I don't remember how much this cost. I think it was like 15 or 17 bucks. But this is the way you do it, because just cardboard. And in the case of Yu-Gi-Oh, it's super simple. And the reason why it's simple is because you can play with most of these cards. This is just nostalgia bait, because the meta has, you know, so much power creep that they are useless. That's also the reason why Konami was like, yeah, sure, take the cards, we don't care, because, you know, whatever. Now, this is not very good, but whatever, you can, right? It doesn't really work though, so whatever. You saw it, it was close. So Obelisk the Tormentor, Cypher the Sky Dragon, and the Winged Dragon of Ra, and then the boys, the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Blue Eyes White Dragon! Gonna love it. The Dark Magician, Camera Malfunction, but the good thing is that nothing of value was lost. So Obelisk the Tormentor, Cypher the Sky Dragon, the Winged Dragon of Ra, Blue Eyes White Dragon, Dark Magician, and the Red Eyes Black Dragon. I love that dude. And the Red Eyes Black Dragon in quarter of a century, legendary foil style special edition Turbo HD. You can't really read that thing or even see the card in the right light, so it's kind of crazy, but you can see that ghost print in there, 25th anniversary, and that's all that matters, because we are here for the nostalgia, baby. So there is that, and now the 6 boosters in order, and my favorite is Pharaoh's Servant. So let's go. Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon. I tried to ninja it, couldn't. Basic Insect, love it. Dark Gray, I remember, I summoned this thing so much in the PlayStation 1 game. King Fog, there is a charm to old Yu-Gi-Oh, man. One-Eyed Shield Dragon, oh man. Giant Soldier of Stone. See, this is where like putting stuff in defense position was useful. Enchanting Mermaid, like no effects. See, all normal monsters, just a game of power. Hard Armor, which I understand that it makes the game simpler and just like boring, so not defending it. Remove Trap, and Kumo Toko, all summonable monsters for, you know, the right price. Actually, I'm going to do it like per booster. Metal Raiders. I remember when this came out, man, it was so prohibitive to buy these when I was a kid, for me at least. Leo Gone, oh man, I remember like this is only good like in the Game Boy Advance games and the PlayStation 1 games, because it's like, come on, one sacrifice for 1750 power is like, what is this, right? Like, come on. Bikuri Box, which is Crass Crown and Dream Clown. It's like, what, you need to fuse those 2 things and get these, like, what the hell? Not even Hyosube, and this was okay. I remember using this in the PlayStation 1 game. Petite Moth, Princess of Tsurugi, and this was like, oh, this has an effect. It's 900, 700, and it says flip. Inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent's life point for each spell and top card your opponent's side of the field. This is like, whoa, broken. Black Skull Dragon. Ooh, look at this. Let's go. And it's the reprint version because it says this card is always treated as an Archfiend card, just in case you forgot about that. This is a Redcon, Summon Skull, and Red Eyes Black Dragon. Epic. Now we just need a Summon Skull to summon it because we have the Red Eyes Black Dragon. Killer Needle. Also remember this. Skull Knight. So I think I summoned this like once. Always in digital. Always in digital. And Crash Clown. Hey, see, we have one of the cards to the fusion. Not bad. Spell Ruler. I remember seeing Spell Ruler boosters, and they always put like Relinquish in the back, and I was like, F that. I don't care. And mind you, green is like my color, but still like Eternal Rest. And here's where like it will be like, you can tell the evolution of Yu-Gi-Oh! There's actually a super good video about the first generations of Yu-Gi-Oh! I can't remember the name, but I will try to put the link in the description if I find it. It's like super good because it shows how the game evolved or devolved. I think it's evolved like into things and specific metas, and you can tell by the effects and the quantity of effect monsters and the quantity of right, and like defense. Like a monster will be more expensive if it had like the same attack and defense. Like if it mattered, like if you actually attacked and defend in the same position instead of like switching it. Fairy's Hand Mirror, Horn of the Unicorn, look at that. Ooh, Serpent Night Dragon. I remember this was a Rex card in the anime. I was like, ooh, Serpent Night Dragon. It's like, it's kind of meh, man. Like, you treat this like it's a super duper card. It's like kind of meh, but yeah, in the Duelist Island, you can just summon it. So I guess that makes it okay. Liquid Beast, High Tide Gyojin, which is actually very good for, you know, the Game Boy Advance games and stuff because it's like no summons, 1650. Gaia Power. Pharaoh Servant, my favorite expansion. My first booster was this. I got a Jinzo and a Duelist of Swords or Swordman Duelist. I don't remember the name of the card. I just love this set. And I think it's the best one, but obviously I'm biased, so what do I know? Solomon's Law Book, and you get a bunch of traps here. You can see like already, look at the traps. Like they invested more into it. And I was like, okay, well, you got more traps. Let's get more creative with stuff. And that's like what the set was about. A lot of magic cards, traps cards, and like weird monsters and effects. Because the normal monsters and stuff that worked for the previous 3 expansions wasn't worth it. Dark Bat always looked like meh to me. Gradius, I was like, man, like the game. So I always loved this. And a Spikebot. Actually, I pulled this one in one of the boosters. And I always thought it was kind of shit. Because again, 5 stars, 1,800. 170. Again, this is like in that time they will be like, yeah, it makes sense because it's the same attack and defense. Like, are you that scared of Sword and Shield for them to switch your attack and defense? Like, it's worthless. And this booster was kind of bad, by the way. Dark Crisis and Invasion of Chaos, they didn't follow that much. But you know that they try to pull it like, oh, close to the anime. This is like Exodia Necros. 1,000 Needles. Contact with the Dark Master, and here you can see the shift, right? It's like, okay, effect monsters, magic cards, spell cards. I don't want to end up like Konami. Guardian Trice, non-spellcasting area, Sasuke Samurai number 2, and I think that actually at this booster point is where for me it stopped being about boosters because I actually just bought like some Pharaoh's Guardians and then I couldn't buy anymore, so I kind of died in there. And Invasion of Chaos and. I just bought like, you know, starter decks and I played for cards. Back in the day, we played for cards, and sometimes it felt like, you know, in the Duelist King, in the Battle City and stuff like that, like you would lose your cards, right? Plus, the kids will imitate that because that's what they did in the series. They were like, oh, you lose your best card. And it's like, no, and sometimes you will lie or you will play without your best cards because you didn't want to lose them just in case, right? It was crazy back then, and if you didn't live in an English-speaking country, man, you had to agree on the effect of the cards if you were a kid. That was not easy at all. You had to be like, Yeah, I mean, what this card says is this. And I'm like, no, and you will call like an adult or something that knew English, if they knew what it is, and like be like, what's the ruling? What's the ruling on that one, right? And I don't know. And sometimes it will be like you will just play like they do in the show. I remember trying to explain kids like, no, Battle City is the actual rules. If you see the manual, and they're like, no, you can just summon everything. And it's like, no, that's Duelist Island. But yeah, good times with friends. See, this is what a good anniversary product looks like. It's like, this is cheap because it's like, oh, you get like 6 boosters, but it's stuff that no one cares about anymore. You get the god cards, but the ones that you can play with, and you get the 3 most important cards, but are the, no one plays with them anymore. And then I guess the Blue Eyes White Dragon, some people play with it, and the red, and you get one of those in Quarter of a Century special, and it's like cheap, $17, 12, 15, 20, depending on the thing. You buy it, you feel good with yourself, and you're like, man, remember the good old days, and that's it. And you have like a nice box, and nice box. I mean, it's kind of okay, and nostalgia, and that's all this is about, nostalgia. Because when you celebrate an anniversary, you want to celebrate the anniversary, and yeah, it was kind of nice. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you thought about this. Are you also an old school Yu-Gi-Oh player? Do you also feel the need to say Blue Eyes White Dragon whenever you come across it? I don't know, maybe it's just me. So hey, thank you very much for your time, and I hope you had a great time. See you next time on PAX and Recreation. Bye.